So as I said, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the logical operators, and then we're going to conditionally render something in React. So a good article for just looking at your comparison and logical operators is, again, the W3 schools. And we've used a lot of these already. We've used the double equals, we've used the triple equals, things like that. Do we ever use double equals? Do we ever need to use double equals? Not really. Say again?
If you're comparing like a string and a number and you want the string of 2 to match number 2, then you would.
Yeah. So that's about the only reason, right? If we were comparing different types and we wanted to see whether their actual value was the same, like a string of 2 and a number of 2, as Cam said. But yeah, that can just lead to confusing code. And I think if you want to compare things, then almost always you should use triple equals. So Douglas Crockford, who a lot of people call the grandfather of JavaScript, right? He's just written a lot of things about JavaScript and contributed to the language in a lot of ways. So he says double equals is evil. Please do not use it. Yeah, so just try and stick with triple equals unless you absolutely find that you can't do it without. Greater than, less than, all of these, yeah, I think we've used most of these before. Very similar to mathematical operations. Then the logical operators, so and, or, and not. I find that people get a bit confused with exactly how these work, and they often think that they return only true or false, and that is not the case, which we will demonstrate now. And then once we've demonstrated that, we're just going to try and create a component like this that starts saying that you're currently logged out. There's a login button. When we click the login button, the button text should change and the other text. So it will conditionally render whether you're logged in or logged out, such as that. Yeah. So that's the same button component, the same text node, but it just changes what it says based on something stored in the state. Yeah, so that would be a very basic example of conditionally rendering. But you could conditionally render a whole component. It doesn't have to just be a little bit of text. Yeah. So really powerful. All right, let's look at the logical operators first. So into DevTools, if you want to compare your own answers, then you can do. Right, so what examples can we have? Let's just start to begin with. Oh, yeah, so hello obviously returns hello, but if I return hello or world, so I use the or operator and then I type in world next, what do you think it's going to return as that statement? It's going to return both. If I write hello or world, it will return hello world, will it? Yeah, so that's the thing. Max is talking now about truthy and falsy values. And that's what we need to know when we're deciding what the or the and operator returns. So, hello or world will return, not both of them, it will return just one of them, but which one and why. So if I now type world, yeah. Yes, it returns hello because it's the first truthy value that it meets. And that's the way the or operator works. If it finds a truthy value, it will return that straight away. So this part of the code never even runs. It doesn't even know world exists. Yeah, it's found hello or and it's gone, oh well, that's truthy, return hello straight away. If I put in the number 0 or world, what will it return? World. Yeah. Why? Because again, world is the first truthy value that this or operator comes across. 0 is falsy. So it says, well, I'm an OR operator. I don't return falsy values unless I have no choice. So it doesn't return the 0. It keeps looking further down the chain to world and returns that because it's truthy. However, if that was falsy as well, what would it return? So if I put in an empty string next, which are 2 falsy values, 0 is falsy, an empty string is falsy, what will be returned? The first one, says Gideon, which is possible. False, says Max, which is also possible. They're both incorrect, but they're good guesses.
If it's 2 falsy values?
Yeah, if I've got 0 or empty string, or 0 or false, what would it return?
Undefined?
Nope. Empty string, yes. Zero or empty string returns an empty string. 0 or undefined would return undefined. 0 or null, oh, not nil. 0 or nil returns infinity, that was interesting. 0 or null returns null. Yeah, so what's it doing? Oh, yeah, question, what is it doing? Well, it's checking each value in turn. So 0, is that truthy? Nope. What have we got for the next value after my OR operator? Null. Is that truthy? Nope.
No.
Is there any further conditions? Nope, so I have to return null. If we then put OR, I don't know, the colour yellow, as a string, then it returns yellow, of course. Yeah, it goes further because it has another option now. There's another part of the chain. So it doesn't return that falsy value. It says, is there a truthy value? Yes, there is. So to sum that up, the OR operator returns the first truthy value it meets, or it returns the last falsy value in the chain. So if they are all falsy, I think of other falsy values. Give me some other falsy values, guys.
False.
I try and avoid false because some people think that it always returns false. It returns true or false. Yeah.
Undefined.
Undefined would return undefined, but I've used not a number, so it returns not a number. Yeah, that's a falsy value. Yeah. But some people think if you write hello or world, or hello and world, it returns true, whereas that's not the case. Hello and world would return
As one word. No spaces.
it would return world. Yeah, so now we've got an AND operator. It's not an OR operator. So the AND operator returns the first falsy value or the last truthy value. It's the opposite of the OR operator.
Wait, so this is like in a situation where you've just got the word return and then it says hello and world in a function.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to say that in a function, yeah, absolutely.
So you said that n returns the last falsy value.
AND returns the first falsy value or the last truthy value, or returns the first truthy value or the last falsy value. Yeah, they're flipped. There are various ways to remember it. That works for me. Yeah. Or you can just consider pairs, right? You consider everything in pairs. If you've got a truthy value before the AND, then it checks the next value. Because it's checking that all of them are truthy. Yeah? Hello's truthy, great. And, is the next one truthy? Yeah, I'm going to return that. What happens if I now put an AND operator? The last one's world, but the middle one is not a number. What gets returned? See, that's the thing. It can never return false unless false is a value, right? It can never return true unless true is a value. But a lot of examples you see on the web are either true or false. So people think it returns true or false. It will return the falsy value, yeah. So if I did put not a number in there, it will return not a number. Hello is truthy, and is not a number truthy? Nope. So return it. Returns the first falsy value. That's how the AND operator works. It's a huge deal. It's not. It's definitely not. It has to be one of the values listed. Sure, if that was false, yeah, it's going to return false, right? So now we're going to return either true or false, but that's not what it does. It returns an actual value. It's just the fact that in these examples, true and false are the values. So try not to get confused with that. I know a lot of people do, and I think it's the fault of oversimplified examples on the web. Yeah, we could have empty object, we could have an array with 1, 2, 3 in. What's it going to return when I finish it off?
The object. There's the word true.
So we've still got a lot of different options, yeah, around the room. So is empty object true or truthy or falsy?
Truthy.
No, an empty object is truthy.
True.
So I'm going to list out all the falsy values in a second, if that's still a confusion for people. So an empty object, sure, yeah, an empty object is truthy. So therefore, and checks whether the next one. Well, it just checks the next one, yeah. So then, is an array that contains 1, 2, and 3 truthy or falsy? Truthy. So it checks the next one.
But is it falsy because it's a broken array?
I haven't finished it yet. I didn't. If I type it, it's going to reveal the answer. That's why I haven't finished it.
Oh, okay, I know. But continue.
If I type that, I've given away the answer because it will. No, it hasn't actually. Usually it would. But,
Oh, I see what you mean.
ah,
Okay, I
that's
thought you just
interesting.
did that to like.
So it's done that as a block of code. So maybe I can't use empty object in the console. I could use it, of course, in a. That's annoying. See, will that let me do an empty array? Yeah. Okay. So that was my point, right? If I'd left it like that, Zara,
Oh, I see.
then I don't reveal the answer. If I finish it off, then it shows you straight away, so there's no point in the asking the question. But yes, truthy, truthy, and truthy. So therefore it returns the last truthy value. Yeah, it would return hello in that case. Of course, it would just have to return the last value. So that actually could be false in this case. It would still return. Alright, let's list out the falsy values for those that aren't sure. Shout anyone out that you know. Any falsy values you know, just shout them out.
None? No?
Did you say nan? Yeah, not a number. Null. What else? Undefined. Zero, yeah. Empty string, absolutely.
Empty array? Is that false?
Empty array, no. Empty array is not falsy. Empty array is truthy.
Oh, is an empty string falsy?
An empty string is falsy, yeah, that's the exception, I guess. I think there's one more. You can also have minus 0, which is a bit weird. You have like minus 0 and plus 0, and they're still falsy.
This is the word false. What you said you don't put it on.
Oh, yeah, and the word false. How about a string with 0 inside of it? Truthy or falsy? Truthy, yeah, because it's a string that contains something. So false is the only other one, yeah. The obvious one we forgot about. So they are your falsy values in JavaScript. Everything else is a truthy value. So if I put OR operators between these ones, what's going to get returned?
First falsy.
First falsy, which is?
Nan.
Yeah. So if all of these have OR operators between them, then nan, not a number, gets returned. Not a number. Sorry. Yeah, false, right? Yeah, it's the last falsy value. So the OR operator returns the last falsy value. The AND operator returns the first falsy value. So if I put an AND in there, Then we get not a number. I find that quite interesting though. When you put the OR operator in, you get the falsy return, right? Why is that?
When we've got two blocks, then the right block is returning.
The right block returns 0, the first falsy, because of the AND operators. But what about the left block then? Why doesn't that return? Huh?
It's a bit difficult.
Yeah, so you've got to have a look at what takes precedence as well. So precedence of JavaScript operators, and then it will tell you which one gets evaluated first. Let's try MDM. They should be comprehensive, I hope. Alright, so we're looking for the AND operators and the OR operators, which I think... Have I missed them? I must have missed them.
Is this like in maths when there's like, when you have times, divide, yeah.
Is it right at the bottom? There you go. Logical AND, logical OR. So the highest precedence goes first. So it should evaluate your ANDs first. Oh, no, yeah, it should evaluate your ANDs first. Has a precedence of 6. And then the OR comes last. So because the OR is the last thing to be evaluated, then the last truthy out of the OR gets returned. So we had... Yeah, so in other words, this has got nan, and then still nan, and then still nan. This has got 0 and 0, and we're left with nan or 0, which gets us 0. So you've got to just evaluate them in pairs.
I mean, would you really
Write something like that?
do you
No.
write something like this?
No, of course not. It's very confusing.
Brackets and things like that, right?
Yeah. But, you know, if ever you do come across some weird code, hopefully you can break it down. You know, you can just evaluate them in pairs and know which takes precedence. So the AND takes precedence, so that gets evaluated first, and therefore the result of the last thing, which is the OR, is what's going to get returned. Alright, let's put it into a practical example that's not so convoluted. Let's try and make this component. And guess how we're going to do it? We're going to use either the OR operator or the AND operator, because that's the most concise way of doing it. We don't have to use ternaries. We don't have to use if-else statements. We can, if you find that easier, and then we refactor it. So let's create a login component. Start me off. What might I need? Button? Yeah, I'm happy to start there. No worries. What do you want my button to say? Login. Okay.
That shouldn't be hard coded. Are we building this?
It shouldn't be hard coded, I agree, but let's do that for now if you want. Are we building what? Sorry?
So actually you need like
Just build something like that. Yeah, log out, log in, log out, log in.
So with some text at the paragraph, p type or h type, saying you are logged in, you expect props. So you are logged in.
So you want to do what, sorry? You want to do
Some text. Say
some
you
text.
You are logged, well, you are logged, and then space.
You are
You are logged.
logged, and then
Space, and variable.
So like login state. Yeah?
You can create under above the return statement, which you've got hooks. You need to do like a log in and then login state and set login state, or am I overcomplicating it?
Here.
Yeah, I mean it's normal if you do it.
So yeah, I think state makes sense to have. So we can have
Login state.
logins, sorry, state and set login state. Nice. Equals the use state.
And then I guess you can have like a default. What was your default? Logged in. No, what was it? Login.
So you want the default to be logged in? Doesn't make sense, does it?
Can't remember. What did it say?
Usually we're out to begin with. Well, I've been flicking around with that one, so but yeah, that makes more sense to me. When you go on a page, you're not automatically logged in unless it's preserved your cookie. So I would say that log out should be the default state. Logged out should be the default state.
So then you want to put out in the login.
So then I want to put out in my thingy bobby. Yep.
And then you need to have in the button tag an on-click property.
Wow. Excuse me.
Before that, when the font is toggled through the
Do you want a tissue?
No, I'm good.
So when the test state
Yes.
Judging. I'll just put this tissue for you. Use it.
Sorry, Matt. Say that again.
So I think there is a change state function. So change state and log into log out. Log into the tool.
Sure.
So I think it quite complicated trying to tap into the bottom section. You create on the change. Then it was code with the
On change or on click?
Okay, so
Okay. What does that equal?
Callback.
test state.
Doesn't it need a callback?
Yeah. Callback function. And then
Set login
set login
state.
state.
And then I forget if it's an object or it's a string.
I think you need to create.
It's definitely just whatever value you want it to become. But if we put in, then surely it's always going to get changed to in, and we wouldn't be able to log out again.
Yeah, it needs a conditional statement. I would maybe deconstruct the set login state outside just to make it simpler.
So within set login state, then we could say if in, make out, if out, make in. So
In here,
reverse of the, so, or just use the terminal basically. So if login, the login state, and then terminal. So if that's in, we want it to be reverse. So
But it's not true and false.
yeah, that's the problem, right? We haven't done it as true and false. So do we want to do it as true and false?
So false means logging out.
And then we can easily flip it. False, true, yeah? Because we didn't really cover what the not operator does, but maybe I haven't got it anymore. So what's not false? True. What's not true? False. What's not hello?
Goodbye.
No! It's not goodbye. It's false.
Great.
Why? Because hello is a truthy value usually, right? So if we do not truthy, it converts it to a boolean and then flips it. So you've got that command as well, right? Convert something to a boolean in JavaScript. So that would be true. So it's like doing not boolean, the version of whatever value we put in there. Might let us do an empty object this time. Yeah. So an empty object is definitely true. An empty array, true. But an empty string is false. Yeah. So the not operator just flips and converts to a boolean. The other way around, converts to a boolean and then flips that boolean. Okay. So back in the code. We were flipping it between true and false, the login state. Cool.
So, not login, question mark.
Not login, question mark. Sorry, where's that?
Where your mouse is, where it is. Just do a space.
Alright,
Question mark.
question mark.
And then I think you need a return before the exclamation mark. I think.
I don't think you need it, Zara.
Do you not?
No, because once it clicks on the button, it will click toggle space. So if it was on, it would say it will level to, well, if it was true, it would level to false. If it was false, it would switch over to.
Alright, yeah, let's try it without and see how it goes. So, anyway, it still needs to continue the ternary operator. So you have to have a question mark and then false and then colon, question mark true, colon, false.
Not if we're just toggling between true and false. The ternary could go in here and then saying if it's true, say in, otherwise say out. Could do something like that.
Oh, I see, because you've done not login state, so it's automatically. Oh, that's so clever. Okay, following.
Yeah.
But still, why has it got log hard coded?
Because you could also do that.
If it's out, it needs a space before it, isn't it? That's 2 words. Log out. Is log out 1 or 2 words?
We need to lock that. So, log in and log. So if we reverse it, whatever. So if we logged out, what to log in?
I'll tell you what, it's easier just to write login in it.
Where? Log out is 1 word.
Log out's one word? Like that, is it?
Apparently, it looks weird to me. Like we should do that.
What's it complaining about? I can't quite see it at the moment. Oh, it's the adjacent things. Yeah. Good point.
I feel like you always have to start with that when you're making the
Yeah.
component, otherwise you forget.
I think that's a good practice to start with your fragment. Yeah. Because most functions are going to need more than one div or more than one element returned. Okay. Yeah, should we see whether that's doing what we want it to do? Let's import login from. I think I've called this, I don't know what I call this, condition workshop. Alright, and see what that's rendering. You are logged out, but it says log out. If we're logged out, we don't want to log out, so we must have mixed it up. So if we are logged out, then if login state is false, it should say log in, shouldn't it? And if login state is true, it should say log out. Now you are logged out, log in. If we log in, yeah, okay, nice. So you successfully recreated that basic conditional component for me. And then how about trying to think how we can do it. Or let's see if we've got two different components here. Alright, in the app.js then, let's just import login, and then let's also import our counter from before. Remember when we did the count workshop? And that comes from count hooks will do. Okay, so I've got two components, and let's say dependent on the value of my workshop, or let's just say we've got something in the state called is login workshop. This is a very fabricated example, but hopefully it's going somewhere. Set workshop, and we can do use state, and initially let's say true this time. And then let's return two components, in fact, why not? Let's say we've always got the count component there. And then I want to conditionally render the login component only if use login workshop is true. Yeah? And if you wanted, you could have a button, I guess, to say reveal login code, something like that. So let's set it to false initially, and then hopefully we will just have the count workshop on the page and the button that says reveal login code. So on click, we can pass our callback in and then set workshop to the opposite. So that will toggle our login code now, hopefully. What do I need again? Fragment. And close the return as well. All good. Use state is not defined. Where would I put that? Or how could I fix it? Import, where? After React, yeah, nice.
Didn't realise you had to import that.
Yeah, or you type react.use state. Yeah, oops, like that. One or the other. Tracked, yep. Okay, let's see what this is doing now. Oh, we seem to have both there. So it's, yeah, I know we've got both because we've just got login like that. So now to conditionally render it, we can use the AND operator and say is login workshop and login. So now, something like that. So now, the login component will only render if is login workshop is true. Yeah, because if this is false, that whole expression will return false. It won't even consider the login component. Yeah, remember that's how the AND operator works. It returns the first falsy value or the last truthy. So if that, go on.
If you switch those lines, it won't work, will it?
If what?
If you put login on the left and this login workshop on the right, it won't work.
No,
The
no.
last truth value will be the is login true. You with me? So go back to your and returns the last truth value.
If we had it the other way around, absolutely, it wouldn't render. Here's login workshop. So, and returns the first faulty value or the last truthy value. So it will, in this case, always return is login, the value of is login workshop. Yeah? And if we reveal login code, no login code is revealed. Yeah? However, if we flip it around the other way, I'm probably going to have to refresh the page because I won't know what state the state currently is. So now, let's just refresh it. So initially it should not be displayed, right? Because we've set it to false. False and login means we return false. However, if we click it, that will run our callback function. It will set the value of is login workshop to true. And there's our login code. I should probably say toggle login code because I've made it a toggle, but you get the idea, yeah? So you can conditionally render whole components just through that sort of setup by having show component and the component name. Yeah, so we could have called it show login and set login, I guess. Yep. Any questions on that, what we've done today? Yep. Yep. Both are what into false? No. So false sets the initial state of show login. Just show login. Set login is a method to change the value of show login. Yeah. It's just setting up a function that enables you to do something to show login, yeah, to change the state of it. So set login isn't initially false. Set login is just a function that returns or updates. Let's say it's an update function for show login.
I wouldn't call the use state. That's just there to sort of it shows you like the initial value, and it's obviously got some sort of functionality to make that whole situation work. But like you wouldn't, outside of making that, declaring that variable, you're not going to use the use state function again, right?
No, no. Use state just sets up the initial state and sets the method that you use later on in your code. But once you've used use state once for the state variable, that's it. It just constructs the initial setup for the state variables, which is a different pattern, definitely, to the class-based methods, right? Because then you always call set state whenever you want to update the state using class-based methods.
That looks quite nice.
Yeah, I think once you get used to it, this
This
is
is much better.
Oh yeah.
this is preferred.
Class constructors are horrible.
Yeah. Any other questions? There will be a board challenge next week on, but hopefully Ricardo will do one on Friday on the AND operator and the OR operator. That's what we usually do, yeah? And then that will give you a bit more practice to work out how exactly the logical operators work, because they're very, very useful. And yeah, just to be able to toggle a component on using 3 words, I think is a great bit of code. Yeah.
So you can write show login equal true.
You can write what? Sorry, show login
Show login equal true.
equal true. What, like that?
True.
The breaking state is
I mean the free. Yeah.
You shouldn't really do that because you're trying to reassign this state variable, and you should always use the method to update the value of the state variable.
Do the conditional 3 per time. I mean.
I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Simon, so you could send me a snippet or something of what you mean, or we could show it to the group later, but I don't want to confuse things for now. I think if people are okay with that way of doing things. Yeah, should we leave it there then? Yeah? Alright, cheers. Anything online, guys?
Thank you.
No, not for me.
Alright, thanks, Clarissa.
Thanks.
Check the light on.
Yes, please.
Thanks, Graham. All good.
Cheers, Cameron. Alright then. Yeah, contact me or Ricardo on Slack if you need. Demiano, do we still need to look at the now installation for you? Sorry, I forgot.
Yes, to be fair, it's not working, but I talked to Ricardo and he said that we can skip it because later on we will use other stuffs like Heroku and
Okay, so you've got another method to deploy when you need it, yeah?
yeah, but anyway, I'm in touch with the support now, so
Alright,
maybe
nice.
I can solve it or fix it.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry it didn't work for you. It worked for absolutely everyone else, so it's definitely an improvement above GitHub pages, we think. But yeah, I guess there's always going to be some setups that it doesn't work for.
Okay, thank you anyway.
All right, cheers, Demiano.
Cheers.